Hi everyone, this is Mary, you're on Mary Reads, and this video is going to be a book haul. I have a lot of new books. Some of them I got as a Christmas present, some of them I got even before that, and some of them are very recent. And these are the ones I'm going to start with. So last weekend, my husband and I went to the library and we decided to open a card, like a membership. And I got a lot of new books. I was trying to stop myself. I got 4. And I'm very excited about all of those. So let's begin. The first book is A Man Called Uwe by Fredrik Backman. I planned this book for February, but I couldn't find it on Kindle. And I don't really buy new books that much. So I kind of put it aside for some time, and then we came to the library and here it was, like the whole shelf was with Backman. So yeah, I got this book and it tells a story of an old man, Uwe, who is very grumpy, who is always angry at others. He mostly sees bad things. And once he meets a young family with 2 daughters and the 3rd baby coming, and his life starts changing. I'm very excited about the book. I love these like lighter books that are very fun and kind, and I think this is going to be one of those. And the second book is also Fredrik Backman, and I just stopped on 2 of his books. There were more. But I decided that 2 is enough for now. And the second one is Britt-Marie Was Here. This story this time is about a lady who always took care of everybody. She had a certain way to live her life. She was always very neat. And finally she leaves her husband and leaves the town and goes someplace else. And now she needs to start her life over. Understand if she can actually belong to this new town, because everything seems wrong in that town. Everything is out of order, order being what Britt-Marie thinks order is. And I think this is going to be similar to A Man Called Uwe. I think it's going to be kind of the story of letting your guard down, becoming kinder and more open, and just starting your life kind of over. And the next book is The Bookshop on the Shore. And I got this book completely randomly. I was just walking through the shelves and there was this Christmas novel and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. And I wanted to get that, but then I thought, okay, it's Christmas. Well, we're as far from Christmas as you could be. So why don't I just see what else the author wrote? And there were like a bunch of books by this author. And this one caught my attention because it had the word bookshop in the name, in the title. So this is a story about a woman who decides to leave London with her 4-year-old son. And her cousin or sister finds her a job at a bookstore. So she's going to be working in a small bookstore near the Loch Ness Lake, I would assume. Obviously, what else could it be? And she also has a second job to pay for housing. So she has to take care of 3 kids in this great Scottish castle mansion. And this is the family where a mother left them, a dad is a wreck, kids were thrown out of school, and this is a whole huge challenge for her. And she will have to stand up to this challenge and settle in that town and kind of try to build her life. I'm not even entirely sure about the genre of this book. I think it's a romance novel. I would assume that she will be with the dad of those 3 kids. I don't know. But I'm hoping there will be a lot of books. I'm hoping there will be some love story, and I'm hoping it's gonna be good. And the next book is North and South, and this is a Victorian novel. I'm preparing a video about Victorian novels, and I want to read enough of them to be able to make a video. So this book was in my plans for this year. and it tells a story of a young girl, Margaret, who is a Southerner, and she comes to a northern town. She works at a mill, and she falls in love with a mill owner. And this book will tell us about these differences in culture between North and South. It will show us the social kind of rules of the time and the turbulences that are happening all around Margaret are kind of affecting her mood and how she sees the world and lives in it. I think it's going to be very interesting. I can't tell more about it because I don't know more about it. So hopefully it's going to be good and I will enjoy it. And the next book I got from my friend, and this is supposed to be something very interesting. I haven't read anything like that before, and he said that's something I have to read and talk about, so here it is. And I'm thinking I might be reading it pretty soon, and this is the book No Longer Human. It tells a story of a young narrator, a young man who doesn't understand humans, who is very, very different from everybody else. So, and he's different since childhood. He was bullied at school, which in an adult life led to him trying to attempt suicide, which failed. And now he's trying to lead a normal life. But it's hard because obviously he is not like everybody else. I have no idea where the book is going to lead, but it sounds extremely interesting. It's a very interesting format, by the way. Like, you have this very little space for text. I'm not used to that, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but, well, who cares, as long as the book is good. And the next 3 books are all going to be similar. It's the same series. And I got it for Christmas. My husband got it for me for Christmas. And these are 3 books about history of Russia. Obviously, I know a lot about history of Russia. I studied it a lot in school. But I feel like often I didn't really care. And everything that goes like before Peter the Great is completely out of my brain. Like, I have no idea what was going on there. And everything that went after him, I'm kind of familiar with, but very, very vaguely. So I'm very interested in like filling up those spaces and reading more about history of Russia. But the problem is I very rarely trust foreign writers when they write about the country. And it's not just about like foreign writers writing about Russia. It could be a Russian author writing about America, or a Russian author writing about Germany or England or France or whatever. So I'm very cautious, and that's why I kind of didn't know where to start. So my husband got me these 3 books by Robert Massie. And he said that this author was actually specializing on history. He studied history of the United States. He studied history of Europe, and he wrote a bunch of historical works. And he actually got a Pulitzer Prize for this particular book. So I decided that, okay, you can probably trust this author. And so the first book is about Peter the Great, and I'm actually extremely happy about the edition because you get a bunch of sections with pictures, which is great. I love seeing pictures, and I'm very excited to start the book. I don't think it's the book that you sit and read like from the beginning to the end in one sitting. I think you read like a chapter a day or a chapter a week, or you like just you might not even want to go in the correct order. You might want to like start somewhere in the middle if you're interested in a particular period, and then like fill in the gaps later. But yeah, this is definitely a great book that I can't wait to read. And the second book, the same author, also Russian history, but it's about Catherine the Great. And I'm extremely interested about Catherine the Great in particular because she was a great, well, you could probably say empress, and she did a lot for Russia. She did a lot for education, and I want to know more. And she has a very interesting life for a person of that time. She's a German princess. She married a Russian czar, and she then, well, took the throne. And she's one of very little women at power in Russia, and I think she's the greatest one of them all. So I'm very interested. And finally, the last book of the same series of the same author is about the fall of Romanov dynasty, and it's about Nicholas II and his wife Alexandra, and well, also his kids, obviously. It's an extremely sad story. It always broke my heart since like childhood, and I just I was very sad about the whole situation, about their death, about how even kids were killed, how they weren't even given a chance to live. And I always saw them as these victims of evil. But then I listened to a lecture about him, and apparently he was not a bad person, obviously, but Nicholas II made a lot of strategically wrong decisions that made people angry, that didn't let them develop as they wanted to, and that eventually led to a lot of protests, obviously, which then led to revolution. So I want to know more about the story. I want to know all the details and have my opinion of his ruling and him as a person. I'm very excited about reading the book, and what's great about this one is that by then you had pictures, so you have a lot of photographs, which is amazing. I can't believe you can see the Russian Tsar and his kids and his family in pictures. Like, this is crazy for me. It's not portraits, it's finally pictures, and this is the last Russian Tsar, and it's just great. I'm extremely excited. So the problem about these three books is that the book about Catherine is in a different edition. That's a little bit sad, but I don't think that's a problem. I'm just extremely happy that I have these books. And yeah, I can't wait to read them all and tell you guys about them. So these were all the books, and I'm very happy I finally was able to show them because, well, I was collecting them to then make one big video about them. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you find some of the books that you might be interested in. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.